Hey guys! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you guys are spending time with me on this channel. I really appreciate the support. And of course, if you guys want to support me further, you can do that at my Patreon link. The link is in the description below. You can give me $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever you prefer. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about a comment that Sheena Holly left on the channel. I thought it was so fascinating and interesting that I wanted to do a video on it. And basically, this is what she said. I am not avoiding you. I'm busy being entertained by my mind, my books, YouTube videos, etc. ad nauseum. I rest my case. Please find yourself a fun extrovert in the interim. All right, so this is brilliant, yeah, and this is something that extroverts really need to understand about us or our friends in general, even if they are not extroverts, or mostly it is extroverts who need to understand this. But a lot of extroverts, what they think, and my friends as well, I have had to explain to them or I have to train them, have had to train them. Now they're fine. But in the past, they used to believe that if I am by myself in my room doing my own thing, that I am upset about something, or I'm unhappy, or I am sad, or I am bored, or things like that, right? Something negative is happening with me. And this was something that I had to really deal with a lot when I was spending a lot of time with my mother. My mom is an ENFJ and she's a major extrovert, which means that she does not feel good unless there's people around her, right? And so she needs to be around people or talking to people on the phone or at a party or outside or with her children, just having a social time. She does not like, it's okay for her to be on her own for a little bit of time, right? So she likes Korean dramas and she'll watch TV a lot. But a lot of her happiness and joy comes from being around people. And so, of course, we utilize our own viewpoints or our way of looking at the world to delineate it to everyone else. We think that everyone looks at the world the way we look at the world, right? And so she would look at me from a very young age, and I have been an introvert all my life, and she has been an extrovert all her life. And so she would look at me, and whenever I'd be spending a lot of time on my own, or I'd go for long walks by myself, she'd always be like, "Oh my God, are you unhappy? Is there something going on with you? Are you lonely? Are you sad? Is there anything I can do for you?" And it always confused me when I was younger. At least now I know it's not the truth. But when I was younger, I'd be confused by that because I'd be thinking to myself, "Am I unhappy? Is that why I'm spending so much time by myself? Am I depressed? I don't understand. I'm having fun when I'm walking by myself, but my mom thinks I'm sad or unhappy. Is that something that's the truth?" Because at that point, I didn't know the difference between an introvert and an extrovert, right? So, and my mom always liked being around people and I didn't. And so I assumed there was something wrong with me, obviously, right? And that's something, obviously, we use our parents when we're young as a delineator or a marker of how to behave or how to be a normal human being, right? And then our friends and then eventually just ourselves. But at that point, when I was younger, I thought that was the truth. I thought that I was weird in some way, or I was depressed or sad, and there was something wrong with me because I wanted to spend so much time on my own. Of course, now I realize that there was nothing wrong with me, and I'm just the way it is. That's the way I am, and that's fine. It's okay. It's perfect. I am perfect the way I am. It's okay to spend a lot of time on my own. But my extroverted friends still do not understand the difference, right? Some of them did not understand the difference. And so I had to explain to them, I am not lonely when I'm by myself. I am not alone when I'm by myself. I am not unhappy when I'm by myself. I am being entertained by my mind, right? And that's a thing that is really absolutely true for introverts. I could sit here on my couch for an entire day just staring off into space, and I would be the happiest person on the planet. It literally is that true. And I'm not saying it because I want to appear different or anything. It's just literally the truth for me. And I have done this in the past. Luckily enough, I live on my own. So I can literally just sit on the couch and stare off into space and no one's going to say anything, right? No one's going to look at me like, "Are you all right? You've been sitting there and staring off into space for a while. Are you okay? Do you need help?" And so no one is going to say that to me, right? I mean, thankfully. And so that's okay. And I've understood that that's fine, right? But a lot of extroverts, they look at us as introverts and they think that we're sad or depressed because for them specifically, and that's what I really want to point out to you guys, is that for an extrovert, being on their own, even living on their own, some of them, my extroverted friends, if they lived on their own, they're depressed. Yeah, they don't like even living on their own. They like being surrounded by people. Some of my friends, as I've told you before, they're 99% extroverts. 99 guys, 99%. Even the thought of it gives me heart palpitations. But they literally could be surrounded by people from the time they get up in the morning to the time they go to sleep, 18, 20 hours a day, even be next to someone in bed all the time, and they're still okay, and they still can go with people more. Like, they can still hang out with people more. And for me, just the thought of that gives me hives, yeah? Or gives me rashes on my body. I have a physical reaction to that. So I can't do that. But what happens for an extrovert is because they are so afraid, or not afraid, they just don't like it. It's not their way of doing things. They get energy from people, and they don't like being alone. They just don't like it. They can be alone for a few hours at a time, perhaps, but a lot of times they need to be around people. And they need to, when they're working, they need to be around people. If they're singing, they want to be around people. If they're eating, they want to be around people. They want to be around people all the time. So when they look at us from their own viewpoint, their lens of looking at the world. Yeah, they look at us and think, oh my God, they must be sad because when I'm alone, I'm sad, right? And so I want to give you this wisdom as a thing that your extroverted friends are not trying to put you down. They're not trying to upset you. They're not trying to change you. They're just looking at you from their own perspective and thinking, oh, I just want to help them, right? And when I started thinking of it this way, when I started talking to my extroverted friends and realizing that this is what they're thinking and realizing that this is how they're trying to help me and take care of me and be nice to me, my perspective completely changed, right? And so even to my mother, in the past, I'd be like, why are you trying to change me? Why are you being like this? You don't love me, la la. But now I realize she was just trying to show me love in her own way, in her extroverted way, because for her, being on her own for such a long period of time would be absolutely the most horrendous thing that could happen in the world. It would be like a punishment to her. And so for me, it's not. And I'm constantly telling her, even now when I live by myself on my own in a strange country, she's always like, are you okay? Are you depressed? Are you sad? I'm like, no, Mom, I'm having the best time of my life. And so I have to constantly remind her that I like it this way. Because for her, living by herself in a strange country, not knowing anyone around really, would be the worst thing that could ever happen to her. Yeah, it would be a punishment akin to hell. And for me, it's like heaven. Yeah. So we have to understand that when our extroverted friends are trying to pull us into all these different social events or sending us messages, trying to get us out of our caves, they're not doing it because they want to hurt us or annoy us or frustrate us. Nothing like that. They're doing it from a place of goodness, from their hearts. They're trying to protect us and save us and help us and love us, right? And so if you could just change your perspective in that manner, and yes, tell them to go find someone else while you're in your cave. Explain to them that you're in your cave right now and you're recuperating or recharging, and then once you get out, then you'll be able to spend time with them. But until that point, to tell them, maybe not, don't message me or don't call me or give me some space or time. Yeah. Don't think of it as, oh my God, I have to get rid of this person because they're getting all up in my space and things like that. Don't be like that. They're doing it out of a place of heart, of love. And, interpret it as such. Don't interpret it as a negative thing. And I know I used to do that all the time. I'm like, oh my God, they hate me. They don't want me to be introverted anymore. I hate myself, blah, blah, blah. But little by little, I understood that I love the way I am. And if I love the way I am, they will love the way I am as well, if I could just explain to them. And I love them for who they are. I love extroverts for who they are, because if I did not have my extroverted friends, I would not have friends, right? I mean, that's how I made friends. All of my friends are extroverted people who adopted me, who liked who I am and decided, yeah, she's a cool person and I want to hang out with her. And they send me event listings all the time. Here, I'm doing something like this today. If you have the energy, come for it. And I'll be like, oh, I can't come today, I'm working. And they'll be like, all right, cool, next time. And they're always constantly trying to bring me into their fold, trying to bring me out. And I love that, and I appreciate them for that. Because otherwise, I would literally spend all my time at home just hiding in the corner, doing nothing social, right? And so we need our extroverted friends in our lives. They are important to our balance. They are extremely important. But again, do not think that it's bad of you to be an introvert. There's nothing wrong with you. Both of you guys are necessary on this planet to balance things out. Just remember that you have to explain yourself to your extrovert. What are you doing? Why are you in your cave, etc. And then let your extrovert pull you out of your cave occasionally and spend time with people. That's one of the reasons why we're on this planet, is to be around other people, to be in a community, to hang out with people, to have conversations, to be human, to be social, all that stuff. That's what makes us human. You cannot hide in your cave forever, okay? You can try, but it's not good for you. It's literally not good for you. It actually means, and I've read studies that if people don't hang out with or don't have a community of friends or family, then they are probably likely to die earlier than other people who do have a community or social life, right? And so your life is in danger if you don't hang out with people, if you're not social. So let your extrovert friends pull you out, and let your extrovert friends take you out and take you to social events and invite you to social events. That's their job, and your job is to be there, present, and help them whenever they need it. So I hope this makes sense. I do appreciate the comments Sheena left, and I'm so grateful that you guys are so brilliant and articulate, much more so than me. And so I appreciate your comments. Please do keep them coming. I read every single comment possible, and if I like it or if I find a gem of wisdom in it, then I do a video on it. And so that's awesome as well. Again, you can support me on Patreon if you guys are interested. The link is in the description below, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.